I want to ask you, sister, a question in Psalms 15, verse number 4. And it states here, "He in whose eyes the vile is despised, but he honors those who fear the Lord." My specific question is, who is that vile one, sister?
All right, here it talks about the requirements because there is a question. The question is, Lord, who will dwell with you? Who shall dwell in your tabernacle? Who shall be with you? Who shall be in your holy hill? Who shall dwell in your holy hill? O Lord, who? And so the divine answer says that it is a person who has integrity, a person who puts righteousness into practice, a person who speaks the truth in his heart. Because let us remember that when we're referring to this word of truth, we are not referring, as people sometimes say, to the little lies that are told out there, but it is talking about many people who were teaching a twisted, erroneous path to others with different doctrines, telling them not to seek God, that this is a lie, the gospel, that the only truth is the law of Moses, that this is not the truth of God. So they teach a bunch of mistakes, twisted false doctrines to other people. They twist them, they take them out of the way, and they say things. That is what we see in the world today. Thousands of religions, each one on their own, they're speaking lies, deceiving the people. On one hand, this, deceiving people about the path of God. On the one hand, that is the lie. There is another lie, which is also when you do evil to a person. When you lie to them, you deceive them. Lying is to deceive. Lying is used to deceive. It's used to cheat, to threaten. It's used to do so many evil things. So the Lord says that a person should not put into practice that lie, one that hurts the neighbor, one that does evil to his neighbor, because that doesn't please the Lord. Then he says the requirements of that person who will be in the hill of God, the question he asks, who will dwell with you? Who will be with you? So he says this, he says the one who has integrity, the one who does righteousness, the one who turns away from sin, the one who speaks the truth, the one who does not slander, because it also includes slanders. Many innocent people died because of slander, because they made things up. Lies were present. For example, lies were reigning, intertwined with that slander or by being false witnesses. And many people were put to death because of slanders and due to false witnesses. Their lies were reigning. So he says he does not slander with his tongue. He does not do evil to his neighbor in any way. A person who commits adultery is doing evil to his neighbor. A person who has a partner and commits fornication with others, then he is doing evil to his neighbor, referring to his spouse. This is causing harm, not harming his neighbor. A person who lies to him and cheats on him, then he is hurting him. A person who feels envy or resentment or hatred towards his neighbor is doing evil to him. And our neighbors start with our spouse and onwards, and close people, family, neighbors, friends. Those are the neighbors, aren't they? So he says that he does not do evil to his neighbor. He does not take up reproach against his neighbor. He says, he or she says, in whose eyes the vile one is despised. But this person sees a person who is despised. The vile one says, here it says that the vile one is like a miserable person, poor. Let's not say despised, but that person is not doing evil. Rather, this is a person who is despised for being poor, for not having ranks, for not having category, for not having money. He has neither voice nor vote. That is the vile one, the miserly, or the humble, or the unprotected, perhaps too. Then he says that this person who has God sees this vile person, and he will not look down on him. On the contrary, he will reach out to him. He will help him, and he will hold him in great esteem. He will tell the person, you are a person of value. You are someone important. He does not humiliate him. He does not look down on him. That is what he does. He who truly wants to be with God on the hill of the Lord, this person must put into practice all these things toward the humble, toward the modest. He should not despise them, but help and not humiliate anyone. This is what it states. In whose eyes a vile person is despised. Others, they despise him, but he who is with God does not despise him. It states, but he honors those who fear the Lord. It states here about this person. It states that he honors those who have fear of God. However, it is not only that we have to honor those who fear God, because if we are in the world and we are there surrounded by people of the world, even though they have no fear of God, I have to be careful and I must respect and I must cherish those people and set a good example for them and have a good testimony. But of course, when it comes to those who fear God, well, with much more effort, I will honor them. And sure, I will feel better and make them feel esteemed, honored, lifted up, strengthened. You thank them. You always do this. You praise them, or you acknowledge what that person is, being someone who loves or fears God. You put them in first place. You put them in the first place. It doesn't mean that the other people in the world who don't seek God, we're going to humiliate them. No, but rather, we set a good example for them. And we have a good testimony from them so that they too may one day know the path of God. But as far as those who seek and love God, we will show a preference for them in our hearts. So this passage states, honor those who fear the Lord. And then it also states that there is also another person who says that swearing to his own hurt and does not change. It says about another person that he does not put out his money at usury. Then these are requirements to be on that hill. But as far as the vile one, perhaps it is now clearer that we should not belittle, nor humiliate, nor treat badly the helpless.